There's a power in focusing on yourself and working hard quietly without needing to shout about your progress or wait for others to notice. When you stop chasing approval and start showing up for your own goals every day, you begin to build something real, something that lasts. This isn't about quick fixes or flashy achievements. It's about steady effort, protecting your peace, and trusting the path you're on, even when no one else seems to see it. Imagine waking up each morning knowing exactly what you need to do, feeling calm and in control, and finishing your day with the quiet satisfaction that you gave your best. This isn't just a dream. It's possible when you learn how to protect your energy, set clear goals, stay focused, and manage your emotions. It's about creating a routine that supports you and celebrating the small wins that others might overlook. In this video, you'll discover practical steps to take control of your life by building habits that keep you consistent in silence. You'll learn why silence isn't emptiness, but a place where strength grows and real progress happens. You'll find out how to stop comparing yourself to others and instead honor your unique journey. Most importantly, you'll see why trusting your process and staying disciplined every day is the key to long-term success. If you want to break free from distractions, avoid burnout, and create a life where your actions speak louder than words, this is the guide you've been waiting for. Stick with it, and by the end, you'll feel ready to take on your challenges quietly but powerfully, and finally start moving forward on your own terms. Chapter 1. Choose yourself daily and stop seeking outside approval. Most people spend their lives waiting for permission. Permission to be who they are. Permission to feel confident. Permission to start. Permission to believe in themselves. But no one tells you that this waiting never ends. There will never be a perfect moment, a perfect sign, or a perfect cheerleader to tell you you're finally enough. The truth is, you have to decide. You have to choose yourself before the world ever does, and you have to do it every single day. Choosing yourself isn't a one-time decision you make when things fall apart. It's a quiet commitment you make in the morning when no one else is watching. It's how you carry yourself when you walk into a room and don't feel seen. It's how you speak to yourself when you fail. Choosing yourself means believing that your worth isn't something to be proved, but something to be honored. You don't need applause to be valuable. You don't need to be liked to be worthy. You don't need validation to be real. Too many people have built their identities on the approval of others. They become experts in reading the room, adjusting themselves to be more accepted, more liked, more admired. They shape their lives around what will look good from the outside, even if it feels empty inside. And with every compromise, they drift further from who they truly are. You can't live for other people and still expect to feel fulfilled. You can't be everything to everyone and still belong to yourself. It starts small. You post something and immediately wait for likes. You hesitate to speak your mind because you fear being judged. You agree when you want to say no. You go places you don't want to go, smile when you're tired, show up when you're burned out, all to maintain the illusion that you're enough in their eyes. And over time, you forget what your voice sounds like when it's not trying to impress anyone. You forget what you actually want because you've been chasing what others expect. Choosing yourself is the opposite of that. It's not arrogance. It's not selfishness. It's an act of self-respect. It means getting honest about what matters to you and having the courage to live that truth. It means saying yes when something aligns with your values and saying no without guilt when it doesn't. It means making decisions that support your peace, not your popularity. This kind of self-commitment is difficult at first because it means some people won't understand you anymore. Some will question your change. Some will call it selfish, but the ones who truly care about you won't punish you for prioritizing your growth. They'll respect you for it. And the ones who don't, you were never meant to shape yourself around them anyway. When you stop seeking approval, something shifts inside you. You begin to hear your own thoughts more clearly. You start choosing based on what feels right to you, not what looks right to others. You stop performing and start living. And even though it feels lonely at times, it's the beginning of real strength. Choosing yourself daily means waking up and deciding that you are enough, even when you feel uncertain. It means treating yourself with the kind of patience and care you often give away to others. It means building a life that reflects your values, not one that wins applause. And it means doing the hard work of accepting yourself without needing to be seen through someone else's lens. You don't need to convince anyone of your worth. You don't need to explain your dreams. You don't need to justify your pace. The only approval you truly need is your own. And when you live by that, you free yourself from the prison of needing to be liked. You stop asking, "What will they think?" and start asking, "What do I think?" That shift is everything. This isn't about isolation or cutting everyone off. It's about being rooted in who you are so deeply that the opinions of others can no longer shake you. It's about knowing yourself well enough to stay steady when others try to pull you off course. Approval is addictive, but it's also a trap. You'll chase it forever and still feel hollow. You'll mold yourself to fit into spaces that don't honor you and wonder why you feel invisible. There's a better way, and it starts with choosing yourself, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Especially when no one claps. Especially when the world is quiet. Especially when you're unsure and scared and tempted to go back to old habits. You keep choosing yourself. You keep choosing your peace over their approval, your growth over their comfort, your truth over their expectations. And with time, that choice transforms you. You begin to walk differently. You speak with more clarity. You say no without apologizing. You stop begging for understanding and begin trusting your own perspective. You stop doubting your worth just because others don't see it. Your confidence becomes quieter, but more grounded. You become someone who no longer needs to be chosen because you already belong to yourself. Every morning is a new chance to stand in that choice. To remind yourself that you don't need permission to be who you are. That your voice matters even when it shakes. That your boundaries are valid even when others push them. That your dreams are worthy even when no one claps for them. You were never meant to be everyone's favorite. You were meant to be your own foundation. And yes, there will be days when you slip back into old patterns. When the need for approval creeps back in. When you find yourself asking for reassurance you already know. That's okay. Growth isn't about never faltering. It's about noticing when you do and gently coming back to yourself. Remind yourself that validation is a fleeting feeling, but self-respect is a lasting one. And every time you choose your peace over people-pleasing, you become stronger. So what does this look like in real life? It means saying no when something drains your energy. It means taking time alone to reflect and recharge without guilt. It means setting boundaries with people who take more than they give. It means pursuing goals that matter to you, even if others don't understand them. It means dressing how you feel best, even if it's not trendy. It means speaking up when something feels wrong. It means giving yourself credit for how far you've come, even if no one else notices. It also means being patient. When you choose yourself, The rewards don't come right away. Sometimes things get quiet. You lose people. You feel isolated. But that quiet is where you meet yourself. That space is where you start hearing your intuition again. And the people who truly value you will find you, not for how well you perform, but for how honestly you live. It's not easy to go against the current. It's not easy to stop chasing praise and start chasing purpose. But it's worth it. Because nothing is more exhausting than constantly shaping yourself for others. And nothing is more empowering than finally choosing to be whole on your own terms. You don't owe anyone a watered-down version of yourself. You don't need to trade your truth for their comfort. You can be kind and still have boundaries. You can be understanding and still say no. You can care about others and still put yourself first. Choosing yourself isn't about being better than anyone else. It's about refusing to be less than who you are. Start small. One decision. One moment. One honest answer. One boundary kept. One time you say yes to something just because it feels right to you. Over time, those choices add up. They build trust. They build self-respect. They build a life that finally feels like yours. The world will always have opinions. People will always have expectations. But none of them are living your life. None of them wake up in your skin. None of them carry your dreams. So they don't get to decide how you live. You get to decide. And when you choose yourself every single day, without needing permission or applause, you become unstoppable. You build a foundation so solid that nothing external can shake you. And you discover that the freedom you were searching for in approval was always waiting in your own self-acceptance. This is where it starts. Right here, with this choice. Choose yourself. Every day. Especially when it's hard. Especially when it's quiet. Especially when no one else does. Because the moment you stop chasing approval is the moment you start building the life you were meant to live. Chapter 2. Build a routine that protects your energy and peace. Most people wake up every morning and immediately hand over their peace to the world. They check their phone before they check in with themselves. They rush into the day before they've taken a breath. Their time is reactive, not intentional. Their energy is scattered, not protected. And by the end of the day, they wonder why they feel drained, anxious, and behind. But this isn't about time management. It's about self-respect. It's about understanding that your routine isn't just about what you do. It's about what you allow into your mind, your space, and your spirit. Building a routine that protects your energy means taking full responsibility for the pace and tone of your life. It means deciding that your peace is not up for negotiation. It means making choices throughout the day that serve your well-being, not just your obligations. A healthy routine isn't something you follow perfectly. It's something you return to consistently. It keeps you grounded when the world feels loud. It keeps you stable when life gets messy. And more than anything, it reminds you that how you live your hours is how you live your life. You don't need to follow someone else's perfect morning checklist. You don't need to copy anyone's 5 a.m. routine. What you need is structure that supports your mental clarity, emotional balance, and physical strength. You need simple habits that reduce noise and create calm. You need space to think and reset. And you need time that belongs to you, not just to work, family, or pressure. This begins with the morning. Before the day takes over, you need a few sacred moments to claim your direction. That might mean silence. That might mean prayer. That might mean journaling, stretching, walking, or drinking water slowly. It doesn't have to be long or complicated. It just has to be yours. When you give yourself time in the morning to check in, before checking messages, before facing demands, you give your mind space to lead the day instead of being dragged by it. That time is how you remind yourself what matters. That stillness is how you choose presence over pressure. And what you do after that matters too. Your phone doesn't need to own your attention first thing in the morning. You don't need to scroll through everyone else's lives before you've fully arrived in your own. Every alert you check first thing is a seed of distraction that grows throughout your day. If you start with noise, you invite chaos. If you start with calm, you anchor yourself. Peace doesn't just happen. You build it one decision at a time. Throughout the day, your energy will be tested. People will pull at you. Tasks will pile up. Emotions will rise. That's why your routine isn't just about the morning. It's also about how you manage your space, your boundaries, and your attention. Start by noticing what drains you. Notice which environments leave you tense. Notice which people take more than they give. Notice which habits rob you of rest. Then decide what needs to change. Protecting your energy isn't just about what you do. It's about what you stop doing. If you're constantly multitasking, constantly plugged in, constantly saying yes, you're not managing time, you're surviving it. You're not choosing your life. You're reacting to it. A peaceful routine makes room for focus. It helps you say no without guilt. It gives your brain time to recover between demands. Breaks are not laziness. Slowness is not failure. In fact, the more you slow down with intention, the more power you gain. Rushing through life doesn't get you further. It burns you out. Make it a priority to schedule pauses. A 10-minute walk outside. A moment to breathe between meetings. A time to eat without rushing or scrolling. These are not luxuries. These are lifelines. You need quiet moments to reset your nervous system. You need breaks to remember that you are not a machine. You are a human being, and peace is not earned through exhaustion. It's created through alignment. Evenings matter too. What you do in the last hour of your day shapes the quality of your sleep and the clarity of your mind. If you spend the last hour staring at a screen, absorbing more noise, you take that noise into your rest. If you wind down with intention, with stillness, with softness, you give your body a chance to recover. Choose a few calming habits. Dim the lights, read something gentle, reflect on the day. These small choices add up. They tell your body that it's safe to let go, that it's okay to stop. That rest is not a weakness, but a right. None of this has to be perfect. You won't always stick to your ideal routine. Life gets busy. Things come up. But the point is not perfection. The point is awareness. The point is returning to yourself again and again with consistency, not pressure, with care, not criticism. Your routine should be flexible enough to adjust and strong enough to hold you. And it must always begin with the question, what do I need to feel steady today? Start removing things that create noise. Reduce your screen time. Unfollow accounts that stir up comparison or anxiety. Decline invitations that don't feel right. Stop explaining yourself when you say no. Protecting your energy means refusing to carry what isn't yours. It means understanding that every yes to the wrong thing is a no to your peace. You don't need to attend every event. You don't need to answer every message right away. You don't need to explain why you're unavailable. Your energy is not public property. You have a right to protect it. Don't underestimate the power of routines that honor your well-being. They aren't about control. They're about clarity. They help you move through life with more focus, less drama. They help you stop reacting to every trigger and start choosing how you show up. They help you create a rhythm that brings out the best in you instead of draining you dry. Every decision you make either adds to your peace or takes from it. You're either building energy or losing it. And once you become aware of that, you start moving differently. You start choosing rest without guilt. You start creating space without apology. You stop overcommitting just to feel useful. You stop trying to earn your worth through burnout. You remember that peace is your responsibility. It's not selfish to protect your time. It's not rude to say no. It's not weak to slow down. It's strong, it's wise, and it's necessary. Because if you don't guard your energy, the world will take it all. If you don't set boundaries, you will be exhausted and resentful. If you don't design your day around what matters, your day will be designed by distractions. That's why you need a routine, not to restrict your life, but to protect it. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right things. The things that nourish you, the things that steady you, the things that help you return to yourself after the world pulls you away. A good routine doesn't just help you get more done. It helps you stay grounded while you do it. It reminds you that your inner world matters more than the outer noise. In the end, peace is not something you stumble into. It's something you protect on purpose. Every hour, every habit, every choice. And when your routine supports that peace, life starts to feel different. You feel more alive, more stable, more free. Because you're no longer just getting through the day. You're living it with intention, on your terms, in alignment with your deepest values. That is real power. That is real growth. And that is how you protect your energy, every single day. Chapter 3. Set clear goals and show up every single day. Most people want change, but never get specific about what that change actually looks like. They want a better life, more confidence, improved health, or success in their work, but they rarely sit down and define what those things truly mean to them. Vague desires create vague results. You can't aim at nothing and expect to hit something. Clarity is what separates dreamers from doers. When you set a clear goal, you give your life direction. You give your mind something to work toward, and your actions something to align with. Without goals, your effort becomes scattered. You work hard, but feel lost. You move forward, but don't feel progress. But when your goals are clear, your energy becomes focused, and your progress becomes real. The first step is getting honest about what you want, not what others expect, not what you think you should want, what you actually want. That takes courage. It requires silence. It asks you to turn inward and stop seeking permission. A clear goal isn't about impressing others. It's about doing what matters to you. Your goals don't have to be grand or loud. They just have to be yours. You don't need to explain them. You just need to commit to them fully. If your goals are shaped by comparison or fear, you'll quit as soon as it gets uncomfortable. But when your goals come from a deep place of purpose, discomfort doesn't stop you. It sharpens you. After you get clear, you need to break it down. Big visions can become overwhelming when they stay in your head. You need to bring them to the ground. Turn the big picture into specific steps. If your goal is to get stronger, what's your routine? If your goal is to write a book, what's your daily word count? If your goal is to save money, what's your plan for each paycheck? Don't wait for motivation. Create a structure. Small steps lead to big shifts. A goal is not achieved in one dramatic leap. It's achieved in 1,000 quiet efforts stacked on top of each other. And that's where showing up comes in. Every single day, not just when you feel like it. Not just when it's easy. The progress you want is on the other side of consistency. The days you don't feel inspired are the days that count the most. Success isn't built by the moments when everything flows. It's built by the moments when nothing flows, and you keep going anyway. Showing up is how you separate excuses from action. It's how you train your mind to follow through, even when it would rather retreat. That discipline builds strength, and that strength carries into every part of your life. You don't need massive effort every day. You need regular effort. What matters is that you don't stop, that you don't talk yourself out of what you said you wanted, that you don't let comfort convince you to settle. Most people fail not because they don't have what it takes, but because they give up too soon. They want progress but resist repetition. They chase results but ignore routine. You can't expect your goals to respect you if you don't respect your goals with action. And showing up daily is the greatest form of respect you can give to your vision. There will be setbacks. There will be distractions. There will be days when nothing makes sense. That's part of the process. You don't get stronger by avoiding struggle. You grow through it, but only if you stay consistent through it. Progress is not always obvious. Some days it will feel like you're going in circles. But if you keep showing up, even those circles move you forward. The point is not perfection. The point is persistence. Your effort adds up, even when it doesn't look like it. Make your daily effort non-negotiable. Put it on your schedule. Prioritize it like your life depends on it, because the quality of your life does. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are. If you build the habit of showing up, you build the character of someone who finishes what they start. And that kind of character changes everything. It turns fear into focus. It turns hesitation into clarity. It turns potential into results. You will not always be inspired. That's why you need structure. You will not always have energy. That's why you need rhythm. You will not always feel confident. That's why you need momentum. Action creates clarity. Movement creates belief. When you do something every day, no matter how small, you build the trust that says, I can handle this. I can keep going. That self-trust becomes unshakable over time. Don't wait for motivation to show up. Create your own momentum by doing the work anyway. You'll never regret the work you put in. You'll only regret the days you talked yourself out of it. Make your habits stronger than your moods. Make your priorities louder than your excuses. Every day you follow through, you prove to yourself that you are becoming the person you said you would be. And you don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need others to see your work to make it real. Private effort builds public strength. The most powerful progress happens when no one is watching. That's when you know it's real. That's when you know you're doing it for the right reasons. Keep your goals close. Keep your discipline tighter. The world doesn't need to understand your path. You just need to stay committed to it. Track your progress in a way that matters to you. Write it down. Reflect weekly. Notice the patterns. Measure consistency, not perfection. Celebrate the fact that you are showing up, especially on the hard days. That's how progress becomes part of your identity. You stop being someone who hopes for change and start being someone who creates it. And if you fall off for a day or two, don't punish yourself. Return. The longer you delay returning, the harder it gets. The faster you return, the stronger your habits stay. Success is not about never falling. It's about how fast you get back up. Real growth happens when you recommit after failing. That's how you build resilience. That's how you build progress that lasts. Clarity, structure, consistency. That's the formula. It's not flashy, it's not exciting, but it works. And it's available to you every single day. No matter your background, your past, or your current obstacles, you can set a goal and show up for it. You don't need to be the most talented. You just need to be the most consistent. The more you show up, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more your life starts to reflect who you've become. You can't control everything, but you can control what you show up for. And in the end, that choice defines your life more than anything else. Not your dreams, not your talk, but your quiet daily actions. So choose your goal with intention, break it down with clarity, and commit to showing up with full effort, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's inconvenient. That's how you build a life you can be proud of. That's how real transformation happens, one intentional day at a time. Chapter 4. Cut out distractions and commit to deep focus. Most people struggle not because they lack time, but because they waste it without realizing it. We live in an age where distractions are constant and relentless. Notifications, noise, information, and opinions all pull our attention in different directions. Focus has become rare, but that's why it is powerful. If you can learn to protect your attention, you will rise above the noise. The ability to focus deeply is no longer optional if you want to build anything meaningful. It is the foundation of real work, real growth, and real peace. You cannot make progress if your mind is scattered. You cannot create value if your energy is always interrupted. You cannot understand yourself or your path if your attention is constantly pulled away. That's why your first responsibility is to remove what is not serving your attention. Distractions are not just things that waste your time. They are things that drain your energy, dull your clarity, and scatter your direction. The cost of distraction is more than missed time. It's missed potential. Start by identifying what is stealing your focus the most. Is it your phone? Is it endless scrolling? Is it conversations that add no value? Is it a cluttered environment? Is it trying to keep up with everything and everyone? Write them down. Be honest. Don't judge yourself. Just observe. You cannot fix what you won't face. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. Once you see what is pulling you away, you can take your power back from it. Then make space. Don't try to do everything at once. Choose one thing that matters and give it your full attention. If you are working, be fully present in the work. If you are reading, don't switch tabs. If you are creating, don't look for feedback mid-process. Multitasking might feel productive, but it weakens your ability to think clearly. Deep focus grows when you train your mind to stay in one place at a time. Your mind is not a machine. It needs space to think and process and reflect. If you are always consuming, you leave no room for clarity. Remove the noise. Turn off what you don't need. Clean your physical space. Clear your digital space. Protect your mental space. When your environment is clean, your thinking becomes clearer. When your inputs are limited, your creativity becomes sharper. You don't need more stimulation. You need more focus. Set boundaries. Say no more often. You do not owe everyone constant access to you. You do not have to reply instantly. You do not have to be available every hour of the day. Create blocks of time where your only job is to focus deeply on one thing. Let people know you're unavailable during those times. Respect your work, and others will begin to respect it too. If you don't protect your time, the world will fill it for you. Train your focus like a muscle. It won't be easy at first. You'll be tempted to check, switch, or pause. Don't. Sit with the discomfort. Stay with the task. The longer you stay in it, the stronger your focus becomes. Discomfort is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're breaking the habit of distraction. You are rewiring your brain to stay with depth over speed, substance over noise, intention over impulse. Use tools that support your attention, not ones that split it. Put your phone in another room when you're working. Use timers to block focus sessions. Write down your top 3 priorities each morning. Close unnecessary tabs. Keep your desk clear. Keep your intentions clear. When your space and plan are simple, your mind can focus without resistance. Notice how you feel when you finish a deep work session. There is a sense of calm, strength, and satisfaction that shallow work never gives. When you work deeply, you don't just get more done, you feel more connected to what you're doing. You feel more alive, more capable, more grounded. Distractions leave you drained. Focus leaves you fulfilled. You can't create your best work in a rushed, scattered state. You need silence. You need depth. You need time. That means learning to be okay with missing out on things that don't matter. That means not chasing every conversation or trend. That means valuing your focus more than your comfort. When you choose depth, you choose progress. Don't confuse busyness with productivity. A full schedule doesn't mean a focused life. You can be busy all day and still avoid the things that truly move you forward. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters most with your full presence. Stop measuring your day by how many things you checked off. Measure it by how deeply you gave yourself to what matters. Give your mind breaks. Not breaks to scroll or consume more noise, but real breaks. Sit in stillness. Go for a walk. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Let your mind reset. Deep focus is not about constant tension. It's about rhythm. You focus deeply, then you rest. That balance builds strength. That rhythm builds resilience. Be mindful of your energy. You don't have infinite focus. Use your peak energy hours for your most important work. Don't waste your best mental clarity on the least important tasks. Schedule shallow tasks for later. Focus is not just about time management. It's about energy management. When your energy is aligned with your priorities, your days become powerful. You will be tempted to return to distraction. Everyone is. The world is built to keep you busy, entertained, and scattered. But every time you return to focus, you reclaim your power. Every time you silence the noise, you reconnect with your purpose. You're not here to keep up. You're here to go deep. You're not here to impress. You're here to build. You're not here to be seen. You're here to create. Your ability to focus deeply will shape your future. It will separate you from the crowd. It will allow you to master your craft. It will help you build a life that reflects your values instead of distractions. Choose what matters. Protect it fiercely. Give it your full attention, and watch how fast your life starts to change. Chapter 5. Discipline your emotions and lead with calm strength. Emotional discipline is one of the most valuable skills a person can build, yet it's often ignored in favor of surface-level motivation. Most people let their emotions drive their decisions, their relationships, their reactions, and even their future. But without control over your emotional state, you give away your power. You lose clarity. You act on impulse. You sabotage your peace. To lead yourself and others with strength, you must first become grounded. You must learn to be still inside, even when the world is loud outside. This is not about suppressing how you feel. It's about learning to understand your emotions without being controlled by them. Every day, you are faced with situations that test your patience, your values, your self-respect, and your discipline. You can either react or respond. A reaction is automatic. It's often driven by old patterns, fear, or ego. A response is intentional. It comes from awareness, clarity, and wisdom. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can always control how you choose to respond. That choice, repeated daily, shapes your character. The first step in emotional discipline is awareness. You need to recognize the emotions rising within you without immediately acting on them. Pause before you speak. Breathe before you decide. Reflect before you respond. Give yourself space between the feeling and the action. That space is where growth lives. That space is where you begin to lead yourself instead of being led by your emotions. Many people confuse strength with intensity, but calmness is not weakness. It is a sign of mastery. Anyone can raise their voice, lose their temper, or lash out under pressure, but it takes real strength to stay calm, stay steady, and handle things with maturity. When you stay calm, you can think clearly. You can solve problems without adding more chaos. You can listen without judgment. You can lead without dominating. Calm strength earns respect. To build this strength, start by being brutally honest with yourself. Notice what situations cause you to lose control. Is it when someone disrespects you? When plans fall apart? When you're misunderstood? Look at those moments closely, not to judge yourself, but to understand where your wounds still live. Emotional triggers often point to places where we need healing, patience, or a new mindset. If something controls your emotions, it has control over you. Take that control back by choosing to stay aware. Practice staying grounded in simple situations first. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when a conversation feels irritating, when you're interrupted while working, use those moments to breathe, pause, and choose a calm response. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to defend every opinion. You don't need to react to everything that offends you. Discipline is not built by avoiding stress, but by choosing composure within it. You also need to take care of your emotional energy. Emotional discipline is harder when your body is tired, your mind is cluttered, and your schedule is chaotic. Give yourself enough rest. Fuel your body with real food. Make time for silence. Practice gratitude. Reflect on your values. These simple acts stabilize you. When you're grounded physically and mentally, you're more resilient emotionally. Choose your words carefully, especially when you're emotional. What you say in anger can't be unsaid. What you do in frustration can't be undone. Speak slowly. Think deeply. Walk away if you need space. You don't always need to respond immediately. Some battles aren't worth fighting. Some things aren't worth your energy. Choose peace over proving your point. That's how you grow. That's how you lead with strength. Train yourself to let go of what you can't control. So much emotional suffering comes from trying to change things outside your power. You can't control people's behavior. You can't rewrite the past. You can't force outcomes. But you can control your choices. You can choose to rise above pettiness. You can choose to forgive. You can choose to move forward with dignity. That choice is your strength. Don't expect emotional discipline to come overnight. Like any skill, it takes repetition, failure, and reflection. You'll slip up. You'll have moments where emotions take over. That's okay. What matters is how quickly you come back to awareness. What matters is that you keep trying. Each time you pause, reflect, and choose calm, you're building something powerful inside you. Calm strength is not about hiding your emotions. It's about handling them wisely. It's about being in control of how you respond, even when life feels unfair. It's about moving with integrity, even when others don't. It's about rising above your lower self. You don't have to be cold or distant. You just need to be steady. A steady mind leads a powerful life. This kind of emotional self-leadership makes you more trustworthy. People feel safer around someone who is not easily shaken. You become someone who can be relied on in chaos. Someone who brings clarity in confusion. Someone who leads not by force but by example. That kind of strength can't be faked. It's earned through daily discipline and deep reflection. Give yourself time every day to return to stillness. Not just physically, but mentally. Review your day. Ask yourself what you could have handled better. Ask what you learned about yourself. Reflect with honesty, not guilt. Growth comes from self-awareness, not self-criticism. Learn from the past, but don't dwell there. Every day is a new chance to show up better. Build an inner world so strong that nothing outside you can shake it. Build principles you live by no matter what. Practice patience until it becomes second nature. Learn to listen before reacting. Choose your peace over your pride. When the noise around you grows, your stillness becomes your power. That is how you lead with calm strength. Nothing will serve your long-term success more than mastering your emotional world. You can have all the talent, ideas, and plans in the world, but if your emotions control you, you will keep sabotaging yourself. Choose to be different. Choose to rise above. Choose emotional discipline, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Keep showing up with calm. Keep leading with strength. And slowly you'll become someone even you respect more deeply. Chapter 6. Track your progress and celebrate small private wins. Progress is rarely loud. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It doesn't always look impressive to others. Often, it's quiet. It happens in small shifts, in private victories, in consistent effort that no one else sees. But that doesn't make it any less real or meaningful. In fact, the quiet moments of growth are often the most powerful. You don't have to wait for some big achievement to recognize how far you've come. You just need to pay attention. When you start to track your effort, your habits, your decisions, everything changes. You begin to notice how the smallest improvements, when repeated, create lasting transformation. Keeping a record of your progress is not about perfection, it's about honesty. It's a way of keeping yourself grounded in reality instead of in emotion. Some days, it will feel like you've done nothing right. Other days, it will feel like you're moving in circles. But the numbers, the actions, the patterns, they don't lie. When you write down what you did, what you felt, what you resisted, what you completed, you gain clarity. You start to see that change isn't made in leaps, but in steady steps. You start to build trust in yourself. Make it simple. Use a notebook, a journal, a calendar, or an app. It doesn't matter what the tool is. What matters is the consistency. Track what you want to improve: your sleep, your mood, your habits, your goals. Write down what you commit to each morning. Reflect on what you completed each night. Don't skip days. Don't lie to yourself. This is not about judgment. It's about responsibility. When you see your patterns laid out in front of you, you stop making excuses. You take ownership. You face the truth. Every small win deserves your attention, not for the sake of pride, but for the sake of momentum. When you notice that you followed your routine, made a better decision, resisted a bad habit, kept a promise to yourself, Acknowledge it. Say it to yourself. Feel it. These small wins are not meaningless. They are evidence that you're changing. They are proof that your effort matters. Most people ignore these moments and only celebrate the big ones. But the big ones are rare. If you wait for those, you'll miss the beauty of daily growth. You don't need anyone's applause to feel proud of yourself. What happens behind closed doors is where character is built. The discipline you show when no one is watching is what separates you from who you used to be. Celebrate that. Privately, quietly, deeply. Be the kind of person who finds meaning in showing up, not because it looks good, not because someone else noticed, but because you said you would, and you did. Most people stop progressing, not because they lack ability, but because they lose track of where they are. They let days blur together. They forget what they committed to. They drift. But if you check in with yourself daily, if you make it a ritual, you stay connected to your path. You stay intentional. You're able to course correct before you fall too far off track. You keep your mind focused and your effort aligned. Sometimes, all you need is to look back at the last 30 days and realize that you've been showing up, even if progress feels slow. That realization alone can give you the fuel to keep going. But if you never measure your effort, your mind will lie to you. It will say, you haven't done enough. You're wasting time. You're not getting anywhere. And if you believe that without evidence, you'll quit. You'll break your own momentum. But if you can show yourself what you've done, if you can see the facts, you'll hold the line. Progress is not a straight line. There will be days of high energy and days when you struggle just to move. But when you track your behavior, you realize that even the hard days count. Even when you don't feel motivated, if you still did one thing you said you would, one small thing, you're still in the game. That kind of consistency builds strength. You become someone who doesn't depend on mood to move forward. You become someone who honors the process. And when you celebrate your private wins, you strengthen your internal reward system. You teach yourself that it feels good to stay disciplined. You learn to find joy in being consistent. You build motivation that doesn't rely on outside validation. You become driven by commitment, not by praise. That kind of drive is powerful. It's sustainable. It lasts through quiet seasons. It holds you steady when no one's cheering you on. Make time every week to review how far you've come, not with harshness, but with awareness. Ask yourself, where was I last month? What habits have I improved? What challenges did I face and overcome? What did I do that I once avoided? Let yourself feel proud, not because you're finished, but because you're further than you were. That pride fuels discipline. That awareness fuels intention. Don't measure your progress only by results. Measure it by your actions. Did you do the work? Did you resist distractions? Did you stay aligned with your values? Results take time, and they're not always in your control. But effort is, behavior is, attitude is. Keep your eyes on what you can influence. Let the results come as a byproduct of your consistency. Celebrate in a way that's meaningful to you. Maybe it's a quiet moment of reflection. Maybe it's writing a few words in your journal about what you accomplished. Maybe it's treating yourself to something simple as a symbol of progress. The form doesn't matter. The awareness does. Don't ignore your growth. Don't brush off your effort as not enough. You're training your mind to see value in small steps, and that mindset is the foundation of long-term achievement. You don't need to broadcast your progress. You don't need to convince anyone that you're growing. Keep it sacred. Keep it personal. Let your consistency do the talking. Let your results emerge over time. Most of your best work will be done in private, and that's okay. What matters is that you know. What matters is that you see the difference between who you were and who you're becoming. Stay committed to this process. Keep track of your effort. Reflect often. Celebrate sincerely. Progress is not about arrival. It's about direction. It's about choosing growth. Again and again, even when no one's clapping. Especially then. You're not just building habits. You're building character. You're proving to yourself that you can trust your word. That you can follow through. That you are capable of change. That truth, repeated daily, becomes your power. Chapter 7. Keep learning new skills and sharpening your mind daily. Learning is not a one-time event, but a continuous journey that defines the quality of our life. When the mind stays active and curious, it resists stagnation and opens doors to new possibilities. Every day presents an opportunity to acquire a skill, deepen knowledge, or broaden perspective. This daily sharpening of the mind is an investment in resilience, adaptability, and confidence. It does not require grand efforts or hours of study, but consistent, focused action that stretches your mental capacity. The moment you commit to daily learning, you reclaim control over your growth and future. To begin, it's crucial to shift the mindset around learning. It's not just for formal education or when preparing for something big. It's for life, for survival, for thriving. Learning new skills daily means embracing discomfort, uncertainty, and sometimes failure as necessary companions on the road to mastery. The willingness to stumble and keep moving forward separates those who grow from those who remain stuck. Each skill learned, no matter how small, contributes to building a more capable and confident self. Start by identifying areas that interest you or that align with your goals. It could be anything from improving communication skills to learning a new language, from mastering a craft to understanding financial literacy. This clarity provides direction and motivation. Focus on progress, not perfection. Accept that the first attempts will be imperfect, but that's part of the process. The key is to start and keep going, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Use the resources around you wisely. Books, podcasts, online courses, and conversations with knowledgeable people are accessible tools for daily learning. Allocate time intentionally. Even 15 minutes a day dedicated to focused learning adds up over weeks and months. Avoid passive consumption. Engage actively with the material by taking notes, practicing skills, or reflecting on what you learn. This active involvement turns information into lasting knowledge. Make learning a habit by incorporating it into your daily routine. Tie it to an existing habit, like your morning coffee or your commute. Create a dedicated space, free from distractions, where your mind can focus. Commit to a schedule that respects your energy levels and priorities. Consistency beats intensity. It's better to learn a little every day than to cram sporadically. This approach builds momentum and makes growth feel manageable instead of overwhelming. Challenge your mind with varied and increasingly difficult material. Growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone. If you always stay in familiar territory, your mind will plateau. Push yourself to explore topics outside your expertise or try skills that demand focus and patience. This diversity in learning keeps your brain flexible and ready to adapt. It also helps prevent boredom and burnout, which can derail progress. Reflection is a powerful tool in learning. Take time regularly to review what you've absorbed and how you've applied it. Ask yourself what worked, what didn't, and what adjustments are needed. Reflection deepens understanding and solidifies knowledge. It also reveals patterns and gaps, guiding your next steps. Without reflection, learning can become shallow and fragmented. Applying what you learn is essential. Knowledge alone won't change your life unless you put it into action. Look for opportunities to practice new skills in your daily tasks and interactions. This practical use reinforces learning and builds confidence. Even small applications contribute to long-term mastery. Over time, you'll notice that what once seemed difficult becomes natural and automatic. Learning with intention requires patience. Results rarely appear overnight. The brain needs time to absorb, process, and integrate new information. When frustration arises, remind yourself that persistence is the key. Every moment spent learning is a step forward, even if progress is not immediately visible. Celebrate the process, not just the outcome. This mindset sustains motivation and prevents discouragement. Surround yourself with people who value growth. Engage with those who challenge you intellectually and support your learning journey. Conversations with diverse minds stimulate new ideas and perspectives. They hold you accountable and inspire commitment. Avoid environments that discourage curiosity or dismiss continuous learning. The company you keep shapes your habits and mindset. Be mindful of your mental and physical health. A sharp mind depends on proper rest, nutrition, and exercise. Neglecting these basics undermines your ability to absorb and retain knowledge. Prioritize sleep, movement, and balanced meals to create a foundation for effective learning. A healthy body supports a focused and energized mind. Lastly, recognize that learning is a lifelong commitment. No matter how much you achieve, there is always more to discover. This humility keeps the mind open and eager. Embrace the process with gratitude and curiosity. Understand that your willingness to learn daily is a reflection of your strength and determination. It empowers you to face challenges, seize opportunities, and shape your destiny. Keeping your mind sharp through continuous learning is an act of self-respect. It signals to yourself that you value your growth enough to invest time and effort. It builds resilience by equipping you with skills to navigate change. It ignites passion by uncovering new interests. Most importantly, it anchors you in the present moment, fostering awareness and engagement with life. The path to mastery is not about speed, but about steady, deliberate effort. Every day you dedicate to learning adds another brick to the foundation of your future. It doesn't matter if you start small or feel inexperienced. What matters is your decision to keep moving forward. This commitment transforms obstacles into opportunities and potential into reality. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Sharpen it daily. Guard it from neglect. Feed it with knowledge and challenge it with new skills. This is how you build confidence, resilience, and a meaningful life. Each day you spend learning is a day invested in becoming the person you want to be. This habit will sustain you long after motivation fades. It is the quiet strength behind every successful and fulfilled life. Chapter 8. Let actions speak louder than words every time. Words are powerful, but they gain true value only when backed by consistent action. Many people talk about their dreams, intentions, and plans, yet very few follow through with the kind of work and discipline required to make those ideas real. Choosing to let your actions speak louder than words means living with integrity, showing up with effort, and proving your commitment through what you do every day. This principle is not just about doing more, but about being consistent and authentic in your efforts, even when no one is watching. It starts with recognizing that talk alone cannot build a life of substance. Promises made without follow-through erode trust, both with others and within yourself. When you consistently act in alignment with your values and goals, you build credibility and confidence. Others will see you as reliable and focused, but more importantly, you will respect yourself. Action is the bridge between intention and result, and without crossing that bridge, dreams remain distant ideas. Choosing action over words means embracing the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when motivation wanes or distractions arise. It requires a mindset shift from seeking approval through empty talk to earning respect through tangible effort. The energy invested in planning and explaining can be redirected into focused work that produces measurable progress. This does not mean abandoning communication, but rather prioritizing deeds over promises. Developing this habit begins with small, deliberate steps. Start by setting clear priorities for your day. Identify what matters most and commit to completing those tasks fully. Avoid the trap of overcommitting to conversations or announcements about future plans. Instead, put that energy into quietly advancing your goals. Each completed task builds momentum and reinforces the habit of action. Accountability is a key element. When actions speak louder than words, you hold yourself responsible first. Track your efforts honestly and review your progress regularly. This transparency fosters self-trust and highlights areas that need improvement. Celebrate milestones privately to internalize the value of your work rather than seeking external validation. The satisfaction that comes from knowing you delivered is a powerful motivator. Letting your actions lead also means resisting the urge to justify or explain every move. Many people get caught in endless conversations about why they cannot do something or what might happen in the future. These excuses and hypotheticals consume time and energy without producing results. Focus on what you can do now and take concrete steps forward. This pragmatic approach keeps your momentum steady and your focus sharp. Real impact comes from sustained effort over time. One-off actions or occasional bursts of energy are insufficient for meaningful change. The commitment to act consistently, no matter how small the task, shapes character and outcome. This daily investment in yourself accumulates into significant achievements. Actions, no matter how simple, compound into progress when repeated reliably. Understanding that actions reveal true priorities helps clarify choices. Where you spend your time and effort shows what matters most to you, far beyond what you say. Align your daily routines with your long-term goals to ensure your actions reflect your values. This alignment brings clarity and purpose to your efforts, making it easier to stay committed through challenges. Another important aspect is humility. Actions that speak louder than words come from a place of quiet confidence, not arrogance. It is not about boasting or seeking praise, but about doing the work patiently and persistently. This attitude inspires others through example rather than words. People are drawn to those who deliver results quietly and effectively. In relationships and teamwork, this principle is invaluable. Promises without delivery create frustration and distrust. By consistently following through on commitments, you build stronger connections and a reputation for dependability. This trust opens doors and creates opportunities that words alone cannot. Leading by example encourages others to elevate their efforts as well. Facing setbacks with action rather than complaint strengthens resilience. When challenges arise, it is easy to get stuck in explanations or blame. Choosing to respond with proactive steps shifts the focus from problems to solutions. This mindset fosters growth and prevents stagnation. Each small action in the face of difficulty builds endurance and character. Taking action also cultivates clarity. The process of doing reveals what works and what doesn't. Ideas that seem promising in theory often need adjustment when put into practice. By engaging actively, you gain feedback and insight that sharpen your approach. This learning cycle refines your efforts and increases effectiveness. Developing the habit of acting first and speaking less creates space for reflection. Instead of rushing to explain or justify, pause and focus on making progress. This restraint cultivates patience and self-control. It also reduces stress caused by overthinking or trying to convince others prematurely. Trusting that results will speak for themselves builds inner calm. Building a life where actions speak louder than words requires consistent self-discipline. Set clear boundaries around your time and attention to avoid being distracted by empty talk. Prioritize execution and follow through in your daily choices. When distractions arise, remind yourself of your commitment to showing up fully for your goals. This clarity of purpose sharpens focus and reduces wasted energy. It's important to acknowledge the power of silence in this process. When you work hard quietly and let results speak, you create an aura of authenticity and strength. Silence is not absence but a powerful statement of confidence. It protects your energy from unnecessary noise and drama. It allows you to conserve your mental and emotional resources for what truly matters. At its core, choosing action over words is about integrity. It means living consistently with your values and promises. This integrity strengthens your identity and resilience. You become someone who can be trusted first and foremost by yourself. This self-trust fuels courage to take on bigger challenges and pursue deeper goals. This principle also connects deeply with personal growth. Real growth is reflected in what you do, not just what you say. Transformations happen through repeated actions that build new habits and break old patterns. Each action is a vote for the person you want to become. When your behavior aligns with your intentions, your confidence and motivation multiply. The habit of letting actions speak louder than words shifts your entire outlook on life. It moves you from passive hope to active creation. It changes how others perceive you and how you perceive yourself. Instead of relying on empty promises, you build a track record of effort and achievement. This tangible evidence of progress creates momentum that propels you forward. Finally, this approach frees you from the burden of needing approval or recognition. When your focus is on action, external opinions lose power over your motivation. You learn to derive satisfaction from the work itself and the internal growth it produces. This independence builds lasting peace and fulfillment. Living this way requires courage and perseverance. It means resisting the temptation to talk more than do. It means choosing to work quietly and consistently toward your goals. The rewards come gradually but are profound: stronger character, deeper self-respect, and meaningful success. In a world full of noise and distractions, the commitment to let your actions lead is a rare and powerful choice that transforms life. Chapter 9. Respect your journey and avoid comparing your path. Every person's life unfolds in its own unique way, shaped by different experiences, choices, challenges, and timing. Respecting your own journey means accepting that your path will not mirror anyone else's, and that is not just okay, it is necessary for genuine growth and fulfillment. Comparison is a natural impulse, but it can quickly become a thief of joy and progress if left unchecked. When you measure yourself against others, you risk losing sight of your true progress and undervaluing the strength it takes to move forward on your terms. Understanding that your journey is personal helps to cultivate patience. Progress does not always happen at a visible or rapid pace. There will be times when others seem to advance faster or achieve more, but their experiences do not diminish your efforts or potential. Life is not a competition, but a process of continuous self-discovery and improvement. Embracing this truth frees you from the frustration and self-doubt that come from comparing milestones or achievements that are unrelated to your unique goals. Respecting your journey requires self-compassion. When faced with setbacks or slow progress, it is important to treat yourself with kindness rather than harsh judgment. Growth is often non-linear, and every challenge you encounter adds valuable lessons to your story. Acknowledging this encourages resilience and reduces the temptation to quit prematurely just because your pace differs from others. Your path is valid simply because it is yours. Comparison often stems from a focus on external markers such as income, status, or possessions. These can be misleading indicators of success or happiness. True fulfillment comes from aligning your actions and choices with your values and priorities. This alignment can only be found by looking inward, not by matching what others appear to have. Reflecting regularly on what matters most to you strengthens your connection to your own journey and diminishes the noise of outside expectations. Social media and the digital world have intensified the temptation to compare. Carefully curated images and stories can create false impressions of effortless success and perfect lives. Recognizing that what you see online is often a highlight reel rather than the full picture helps protect your self-esteem. Everyone faces struggles, doubts, and setbacks, even if they are not visible. By keeping this perspective, you can focus on your own growth without distraction. It is helpful to develop a habit of gratitude for your progress, no matter how small it seems. When you appreciate what you have accomplished and the experiences that have shaped you, comparison loses its grip. Gratitude shifts your attention from what you lack to what you have gained. This positive focus builds confidence and motivates you to keep moving forward with purpose. Respecting your journey also means setting boundaries around influences that trigger comparison. This might mean limiting time spent on certain social media platforms or avoiding conversations that leave you feeling diminished. Protecting your mental and emotional space is essential to maintaining focus and energy for your own development. Surround yourself with people who support your growth and celebrate your progress without judgment. Recognize that every journey includes phases of uncertainty and change. What looks like a delay or detour may be an essential part of your growth process. Trusting this aspect of your path allows you to remain open and adaptable. It removes the pressure to rush or force progress according to someone else's timeline. Life unfolds in cycles, and patience with yourself during slower periods builds endurance. Focusing on your personal progress rather than comparison encourages a mindset of curiosity and learning. When you view your path as an evolving story, you become interested in discovering more about yourself and your potential. This curiosity keeps you engaged and motivated even when results are not immediate or obvious. It changes the experience from one of pressure to one of exploration. Your journey is also a source of unique wisdom and strength. The obstacles you have overcome and the lessons you have learned create resilience that cannot be copied. Sharing your story authentically can inspire others and deepen your sense of purpose. This respect for your experiences builds self-worth and reinforces your commitment to your own path. Avoiding comparison frees mental and emotional energy. Instead of spending time and effort trying to measure up or compete, you can invest fully in your goals. This focus improves productivity and satisfaction. When you direct your energy toward your own growth, you become more effective and fulfilled. Accepting your journey means embracing your individuality without apology. Your talents, interests, and pace are your own. Celebrating this uniqueness helps you build confidence and avoid the trap of trying to fit into someone else's mold. You grow stronger by being authentic rather than conforming to external standards. It is important to remember that success is personal and multifaceted. What you define as success might include health, relationships, creativity, or peace of mind. Comparing yourself to others who have different definitions only leads to frustration. Clarifying your own definition keeps you centered and motivated. Respecting your journey invites a long-term perspective. Growth and achievement are processes that unfold over years, not days. This perspective helps reduce the urge to make impulsive decisions based on immediate comparison or impatience. Trusting your timeline supports steady progress and deeper satisfaction. When faced with moments of doubt or envy, consciously shift your focus to your own goals and values. Remind yourself why your path matters and what you are working toward. This practice reinforces your commitment and reduces the power of negative comparison thoughts. Respecting your journey also means honoring the choices you have made, even the difficult ones. Every decision contributes to where you are now and who you are becoming. Acknowledging this builds confidence and reduces regret. It empowers you to keep moving forward with intention and integrity. Recognize that your journey will inspire others in ways you may not realize. When you commit to your path and resist comparison, you model courage and self-respect. Your example encourages others to honor their own journeys as well. This ripple effect creates a positive impact beyond your immediate circle. Practice daily reflection to stay connected to your progress. Simple questions like what you learned today or what you are proud of help maintain perspective. This ongoing awareness strengthens your respect for your journey and reinforces healthy habits. Respecting your journey reduces anxiety and stress caused by feeling behind. Instead of trying to catch up or compete, you learn to appreciate your current stage. This acceptance brings peace and clarity that support continued growth. Avoiding comparison does not mean ignoring inspiration from others. You can appreciate and learn from others' successes without measuring yourself against them. Viewing others as sources of motivation rather than competition helps maintain a healthy mindset. Commit to self-honesty throughout your journey. Recognize your strengths and weaknesses without judgment. This honest assessment supports realistic goal setting and meaningful progress. Respect your journey by celebrating every achievement privately. These moments of recognition reinforce your commitment and boost confidence. They help build a positive internal dialogue that supports ongoing effort. Finally, remember that your journey is your story to write. You have the power to choose your direction and pace. Embrace this responsibility with pride and determination. When you respect your own path and avoid comparison, you create a foundation for authentic success and lasting fulfillment. Chapter 10. Stay consistent in silence and trust your process fully. True progress is rarely loud. It often happens quietly, away from the eyes and opinions of others. The decision to stay consistent in silence is a choice to focus fully on the work, the growth, and the process without the need for immediate validation or recognition. Trusting the process means understanding that meaningful change takes time and that the steps you take today, though small or unseen, are building the foundation for tomorrow's success. This quiet consistency is the backbone of every lasting achievement. Consistency in silence requires discipline. It means showing up every day with intention, regardless of external circumstances or distractions. There will be days when motivation wanes or progress feels invisible. The difference between those who reach their goals and those who don't is often found in this quiet commitment to keep going. When you choose to persist without announcing every effort or seeking approval, you protect your energy and maintain clarity of purpose. Trusting the process demands patience. Immediate results are rare and often misleading. The greatest transformations happen through steady, repeated actions over long periods. Each task completed, each lesson learned, and each challenge faced adds a layer to your growth. When you trust this unfolding journey, you stop chasing shortcuts and become fully engaged in the work itself. This patience brings peace, reducing frustration and anxiety about how fast or visible your progress is. Silence in your efforts helps guard against distractions and external noise. Social media, opinions, and unsolicited advice can cloud your focus or create doubt. By working quietly, you eliminate the pressure to justify yourself or perform for others. This creates an internal space where you can assess your progress honestly and make adjustments without interference. Silence is not emptiness, it is a powerful state of concentrated energy directed toward your goals. Remaining consistent without external applause sharpens your internal motivation. Rather than relying on praise or recognition, you develop a deep sense of accountability to yourself. This intrinsic drive is stronger and more sustainable than any external reward. When your focus is on your own standards and values, you cultivate resilience. Challenges become opportunities to prove your commitment rather than reasons to quit. Trusting the process also means embracing uncertainty. The path forward will not always be clear, and outcomes can't be guaranteed. Instead of being paralyzed by what you cannot control, you anchor yourself in the actions you can take daily. This mindset shifts your energy from worry to productive effort. Acceptance of uncertainty builds confidence and reduces stress, allowing you to move forward with calm resolve. Working silently fosters humility. It keeps your ego in check and reminds you that success is not about impressing others, but about fulfilling your own potential. This humility allows you to stay open to learning and growth, understanding that mastery is a lifelong pursuit. It encourages you to seek feedback selectively and focus on genuine improvement rather than external validation. The quiet consistency you build daily also accumulates momentum. Small victories, repeated over time, create powerful shifts that often go unnoticed until they become undeniable. This compounding effect is the essence of sustained success. When you trust the process and keep working in silence, your progress will surprise even you, often at moments when you least expect it. Embracing silence means prioritizing action over words. Talking about your goals or plans is easy, but doing the work consistently requires courage and commitment. When your actions align with your intentions, you build credibility with yourself. This self-trust is invaluable, reinforcing your belief that you can achieve what you set out to do. Consistency nurtures habits that support growth. By dedicating time every day to your priorities, you rewire your brain to favor discipline and focus. These habits create stability, making it easier to overcome obstacles or distractions. Over time, consistent effort becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural rhythm that sustains your progress. Trusting the process involves embracing discomfort. Growth often requires stepping outside of familiar comfort zones and facing challenges that test your resolve. Rather than avoiding these moments, recognizing them as essential parts of your journey helps you remain steady. This acceptance transforms fear into a catalyst for development. Silence also provides space for reflection. When you step back from external noise, you can evaluate what is working and what needs adjustment. This honest self-assessment keeps you aligned with your goals and prevents wasted effort on ineffective strategies. Reflection deepens your understanding of your own process and strengthens your commitment. Staying consistent in silence strengthens your ability to delay gratification. Instead of seeking quick wins or immediate recognition, you develop a long-term vision. This foresight is critical for building meaningful success that lasts beyond temporary highs. When you resist the temptation to rush or broadcast your progress prematurely, you protect the integrity of your work. This quiet journey is a form of self-respect. It shows that you value your goals enough to protect them from distractions and external judgments. You prioritize your growth above fleeting opinions or approval. This respect for yourself creates a foundation of confidence that no external validation can shake. Trust in your process also requires flexibility. While consistency is important, so is the ability to adapt and learn from experiences. When you remain open to change while maintaining steady effort, you balance persistence with wisdom. This balance helps you navigate setbacks and refine your approach effectively. The choice to work in silence cultivates mental strength. You become less reactive to criticism or praise because your focus rests on your own standards. This emotional resilience is a critical asset in any pursuit. It allows you to maintain composure and clarity even under pressure or uncertainty. Trusting your process means committing fully to the journey, not just the destination. It encourages you to find value in the daily work and progress itself, rather than waiting for external milestones to feel successful. This mindset fosters fulfillment and joy in the effort, deepening your connection to your goals. Silence can also be a form of protection. By not sharing every detail of your progress or plans, you avoid unnecessary distractions or interference. This privacy allows you to nurture your growth in a safe, controlled environment. You decide what to share and when, based on your readiness and confidence. In this quiet consistency, you build an unshakable foundation. Each day's effort adds a brick to your personal and professional growth. Over time, this foundation supports larger achievements and more ambitious goals. The process teaches you that success is earned through sustained, focused effort rather than sudden bursts of activity or public declarations. Finally, choosing silence and trusting your process demands faith in yourself and the work you do. It asks for belief that your efforts, no matter how small or invisible now, will bear fruit. This faith is not blind but rooted in experience and discipline. It fuels persistence, peace, and ultimately, profound accomplishment.